Hello. Thought I would do a video of a drive home from Panton, Ferriera to my house way out in the country and see how I get on. I'm about 15 minutes away from my home, so you can see I'm way out in the sticks. It's a beautiful drive, but quite a few people about this morning. It's kind of overcast, 19 degrees. Driving up the village here. I'll turn on the left towards Sadra. This is the area in which I live. Leaving the village now. Builder's Yard was on the left there, which I sometimes use. And now we're starting to get out the country a wee bit. Lovely green, everything's green. It's a bit a typical wee country road. But further on up here, in a couple of minutes, I turn to the left, and then you're really getting out to the sticks. Beautiful views along here, what do you say? But surprised how busy it is this morning. It's usually very, very quiet. Sometimes when I leave my car in to get fixed or get serviced in the village, I have to walk back here. It takes me about 2 hours, or else I catch a taxi, which costs €10. The fares are all set. Sandy. I wouldn't mind the walk back, but if I have the dog, he can't really walk as far. I tried him off it, you know. He's gone on for 13-year-old now. Driving back and forward, I've seen different things. One time I've seen wild boars. I've seen cows wandering across the road. I saw deer. I saw white owl one time. And you often see birds of prey flying about. Some lovely houses. Very big houses. Now, this is where I turn left. It says there for Dulcinea, the Casa Dulcinea. That is a big tourist house. This is very popular, well advertised. Some of the people that live around here are foreigners, Dutch and English, Australian, etc. There's Germans and Dutch, and even some Irish, believe it or not. The Irish are everywhere in the world. Now this is kind of where it gets a bit sticky. I have to watch because to the left there's a very, very big drop. We're driving along a big canyon here, and all along the sides of the canyon are different little hamlets, up and down. So you'll see the signs for the different, and each have their own wee name, like my own wee hamlet. Very misty this morning. Cool. Thank God it's cool. I'd love it if it rained. I haven't really seen rain for 2 or 3 months now. It's still very, very green. Very twisty and turny this road. Like there's the name of one wee place, Lira Nova. The general council is Panton. It's a village council. And you often see their signs up. The sign post everything. This little area is called Cangas, Santiago's, James's. Santiago is St. James. So there we get the name Santiago Compostela. That's a pity about the miss because there's brilliant views. I don't know if I'll get many views today. That van there is a wood sculptor, an artist. I was thinking of getting him to do a statue of Our Lady for me. But he didn't charge too much. He works with a chainsaw, believe it or not. So, goodness knows how a statue of Our Lady would turn out done with a wood saw. A chainsaw. Some English people live up to the right there in the houses, beautiful, beautiful houses. And there's 1 or 2 people up there keep horses. Sometimes you see them out. This is a nice place to walk to when it's very hot and the sun's shining bright, because the trees give you a lot of shade. It reminds me so much of Ireland here. Very, very, very green. Beautiful. You can see the distance. It's not so easy driving along this at night, let me tell you. And the roads, these railway country roads, they're not too well kept. Lots and lots of holes, bumps, goodness knows what else. And in the winter sometimes the trees fall. We're coming down here to one of the old churches. There are churches everywhere, little tiny churches, but they rarely get used, except in fiestas, feast days, funerals and things like that. So this church now is the church for Cangas, for Santiago Cangas, coming up on the left, which you might see. I don't know if yes, you can see it just a wee bit there. And a wee social centre for their fiestas. Little tiny farm buildings as well. I don't know if they could use that much. You can see a better view over there to the left there. We're falling away to a big canyon with the river still at the bottom of it. A very bad turn here. Your man has a mirror up. You have to watch going around some of these corners. It's not, a car can suddenly appear in front of you, and there's not much room for 2 cars. So you have to be careful. When I first came here, I had to be careful that I was driving on the right side of the road. I had a tendency to start driving on the wrong side of the road, which would be catastrophic around here. You'd want to meet a car coming on the wrong way. Somebody is parked madly here. Why did he do that? Sadly, this area. This is a bigger hamlet. Really, really beautiful houses around here. I was stuck here when the big fires came. So I was sitting in this hamlet at the fountain surrounded by flames on every side. I noticed there's been a couple of houses burned down here, and the big fire was at the end of last August. It had the whole place in an uproar. It burnt quite a few vineyards, burnt fields, burnt forest. But there's very little sign of it now. It grew back very quick. And a tiny little church here in the Sadra. I must do a video of it sometime and show you it. Now, and straight ahead here, you see a vineyard growing house. I forgot what you call them now, but there's a name for them. See this wee gentleman walking here, he's Down syndrome. And the next stop coming up is my hamlet, Budian. Budian. That's the way the Spanish pronounce it. They tend to speak very quickly, so the names sound different than I would pronounce. Budian. Other hamlets down to the left there. And a tiny, tiny little train station down there that only has 2 trains a day. But some people use it. I don't use the trains now as much as I used to. I prefer cars. Driving cars far more handy. Spanish roads are excellent. Not like out here in the sticks, but in the highways, the main highways, they're really, really brilliant. Now you see it gets really twisty here. There's a bridge coming up here ahead. Sometimes I walk down here with the dog and sit for a while, looking over the river. Or the stream, I should say. You can see why I'm not fond of doing this at night time. But in the winter, like, the mass might be at 8 o'clock at night, so I'm driving back in the dark, you know, and you have to be careful with trees falling. I've never done this to snow now. God knows what it would be like in the snow. It didn't snow last winter now. Thank God. Now we're coming up to the hamlet. You see there some of the trees were burnt and haven't recovered. It's very bad around here. And they've been cutting down the burnt wood. And this is where all the wood's piled up here. The man that's organising it must be making a fortune out of it. Tons and tons, lorries and lorries of cut wood. They're cutting it down to try and stop fires from happening again. Imagine the money he's making. Here's Budian. You see the signpost there? And here's one of the workers clearing the woods. Or no, it's a farmer. Tiny wee tractors. That's one of the bigger ones. Compared to Ireland. Well, he's for the council. He's for the council. So I'm in walking distance of my house now, which is good. You might see my house ahead here in the hill. Really stands out, so it does. There to the left, the big white one. See, it really stands out there, you know. Doesn't give you much privacy, but if you're sitting outside. This is where you'll see my goodness. This is to one of my neighbours. It's quite difficult for me to get parked here now. Since I went to all that trouble getting that pathway built, I don't want to be parking up in the square. It'd be such a waste. I just have to take time and try and park out. Careful I don't scrape anything. There. There's the big gates. Take it out. Open it. I have to be very careful driving in here in case I fall off that cement ramp, or else I scrape it inside of the gate. So slowly but surely. I used to try to go in here backwards, but I soon learned you have to go in forward, really. And then I failed. I hope we can do this in the winter. I hope we don't drive into this field and get stuck. That's all I need. God help me. It's not a problem in the summer, like it's dry as anything. There's lovely flowers growing there at the side of the gate. You might see them here. And leave it. So it's easier getting out, thank God. So there you are. I don't know what you think of that.